Believe me, man. There's weird times where you have to come home. And I have immigrant parents, which is fucked up. If you have immigrant parents aren't the same as other parents. They don't know what drugs are. My mom doesn't know that there's levels of weed and crack, and in between there's a bunch of shit, and weed's on the bottom. It's all one drug to her. Drugs is drugs. Weed, crack. I don't give a fuck, you know. And even, okay, listen, I grew up in Toronto my whole life, and I grew up on Lansdowne and Bloor. I don't know if you've ever been to Lansdowne and Bloor, but there's tons of crackheads, man. It's very cracky. There's 2 strip joints a minute away from each other, and in between there's a fucking coffee time. So I grew up in a neighborhood with crackheads. And now that Rob Ford was in the news this week, I swear to God, my mom knows what crack is, and she goes, Rob Ford, very fat for a guy who smoked crack. Everybody is so skinny. This guy's so fat. She tried to make a joke too. She goes, he must eat the crack. It doesn't work like that. You have to smoke it. You can't eat crack. Maybe you can eat crack. How the fuck do I know? Like a fucking... What are you doing there, Ford?
I'm just eating. I'm addicted to eating.
How good is that shit, man? Rob Ford's so funny. Rob Ford's so funny. Who gives a fuck? I don't give a shit if you love him or hate him. It's okay. Whatever the fuck. This motherfucker is funny. Nobody in the world of politics, in Canadian politics, has ever looked at a camera and been like, I don't need to eat that bitch's pussy, okay? I don't need it. Well, why is that, Ford? Because I got enough at home, bro. Boom! The only thing that would have made that better if there was explosions, you know? And that song from CSI, wow! Don't... And he just walks off and lights a bowl of crack and goes, I don't give a fuck. That shit would that motherfucker is entertaining, okay? Don't be such a tight ass. When you're 80 and your life doesn't matter, you'll be like, boy, I wish we re-elected Ford. We could have got him doing heroin downtown or something. I know, there, that. Yeah, that guy's fucked. Who gives a shit? He says he saves us money. Who knows if he does? Probably doesn't. Who gives a shit? Motherfucker's entertaining. Who are we gonna get? Some guy who's boring as fuck, and then we're never gonna make SNL and fucking Jon Stewart again and shit. We need people like that. Let's give away more shit. What do I got? We got a bag of weed. This is the only job in the world where you can pull out a bag of weed and everybody be like, yeah. Rob Ford? Yeah, hey, no, don't do it. What are you doing, Robbie? I'm smoking dank. Wouldn't it be good if he fucked up and the guy was like, I heard you did lines. He's like, listen, I never did lines. I don't need to do lines outside my house. I got more than enough coke at home. And then he's like, I'm gone.
Robbie, no.
You know Doug Ford was on the other side of that door going, nice work, bro. Nah, those 2 fuckers, man. They're so entertaining. You know what the best is? The people who are protesting outside of City Hall. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Rob Ford has got to go. You know he's in his office listening to that going, hey, hey, ho, ho, Rob Ford has got to go. Those fucking idiots. Hey, hey, ho, ho. You know he is, because he's like that. He's fucking nuts. He loves it. He's like, I got my own song. I'll come into that. Hey, hey, ho, ho, give it up for Rob Ford. He's like, I changed the lyrics a little bit, but it's pretty much the same message, huh? Guy's the fucking man. He's like a wrestler from the 80s. Like when he comes out of the fucking thing, he comes out of the elevator, everybody's like, Mr. Ford, Mr. Ford. He's like, come on, people, please, give it up for, you know. And his security's like, you got it. His brother's there, his manager, my brother. You know what I'm saying? His brother's the best. Did you guys see him when he was calling out Minion Wong? That guy was like, tell me you never smoked weed. Did you guys see that in the news the other day? It was fucking beautiful. You never see this shit on TV, okay? You might see this in other languages and other worlds, and you're like, holy fuck, the Indonesian government's fucked. But that shit never happens at home in Toronto. If you're not loving this, you're a jerk. Because it's only temporarily. It'll be over one day. It's like a scrape on the knee in the history of Toronto. It'll be a scrape. We'll laugh. We'll be like, oh, it hurts right now. And then one day it'll be a fun story. You tell people, one time I was running and I scraped my knee and I was hurt, and now I'm okay. Rob Ford and his brother are so funny. Remember when he's like, how can you guys throw stones at my brother? Not rock stones. He should have said rocks, but he didn't because he knows. You know? He would have, how can you throw rocks at my brother? And everybody been like, crack rocks, you fuck? No. And I loved it because the guy was like, have you bought illegal drugs? And then he was like, looked at that guy. He's like, tell me right now you haven't smoked marijuana. Tell me right now. And the guy was so quiet. And the lady's like, order, you gotta, come on. And he didn't give a fuck. He's like, what up? Those guys, it's like they're in a fucking shitty movie about politics. And you're like, oh, those two main characters are fucked. They're shit. They're too much. But they're fun. And I don't mind. Like I said, it's a scrape, temporary shit. We might as well enjoy it the most. One day, Rob Ford will be gone, and we'll watch somebody boring on TV be like,
Yes, the status of Toronto is better than ever. We have opened up 3 new parks in the East End.
and we'll be like, bring back Rob Ford so he can be like, I'm not smoking crack. Okay? just like 3 years from now, motherfucker runs again, you know? Like, not the next election, but he waits the 4 years at home just waiting, losing weight, getting in shape and shit. And then he comes back and he's like, this is the new Rob Ford. And everyone's like, yeah, hey, oh. Rob, hey, we're going to cut all this Rob Ford material. We're going to post this on YouTube while it's still hot, you know? You got to get on that social media shit. Guys, man, we should feel lucky to have such a fucking fun mayor, okay? Motherfucker is real. Motherfucker eats pussy, smokes weed, okay? This motherfucker is real. He's not stealing our money and smiling and going, I'm just doing the best. He's literally going, I'm all fucked up. I'm still doing all right. What do you want from me? I'm sorry. He's like your drunk cousin who puked in your fucking house. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I can only say sorry so much. And you're like, get out of here. And he's like, I fucking love you, man. I fucking love you, Toronto. Get out. And you know what? If he motherfucker runs again in October, guess what? He's probably going to win. You know why? Because there's so many people who are fucked up on the inside. They're like, yeah, fuck Rob Ford. But on the inside, they're like, let's see what happens. Believe me. Because as human beings, we enjoy that. We want to be entertained. Believe me, this motherfucker is great. When you turn on the news in the morning and he's smoking crack and eating puss and his brother's fucking calling out the cops and saying, well, you gonna smoke weed? This shit is like, you know, with those stupid shows like The Real Housewives of fucking Who Gives a Fuck? This is them, the real politics of Toronto. This is it right here. Fucking, then his counterpart is Denzel Minion Wong. Okay, that sounds like a ninja who's like black, like Denzel Minion Wong. Hiya! Versus Rob Ford. Shit's entertaining. Canadian politics hasn't been this good in years. You know why? It's because literally the Senate scandal's happening at the same time. These people stole and used hundreds of thousands of dollars wrongfully and claimed it wrongfully. And nobody gives a shit. Because it's way more exciting to watch one fucked up guy. Okay? Nobody gives a shit. Government fucks up millions of dollars all the time and we don't give a shit. But if one of them is smoking drugs, that shit is sick. Oh, what? No, what? The Liberals lost how much in moving those fucking... Oh, they lost millions, 300 million, 400 million in moving those fucking power plants? Well, Rob Ford's eating pussy? Change the channel, dog. What are you doing right here? Dude, it's 400 million. Dude, it's fucking eating pussy. There's a beautiful thing in it. It's like watching a priest take a shit. You know they do it, but you never see it. You know, and now you're seeing it. And you're going, holy shit. That just worked itself out nicely. I didn't mean to say that. Man. I love it. I love living in the city. I love living in the city because look at this. Look what we're doing right now. We're all smoking weed in a giant apartment. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody even gives a shit because we're not scared of cops if cops came in here right now. We're not scared of that because we've grown up watching cops. You don't think cops know about this? You don't think they drive by Vapor Lounge and they go, hey, look, it's Vapor Lounge. Sick. I know. My son says it's amazing.